Let's get down to business. Joining us, as you can see, is co-founder, I believe, of Pin Golf, who we just launched a partnership with last week, Alec Lorenzo. Alec, thanks so much for joining us. Good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. How we doing?
We are doing well. We're doing well. Super excited about our partnership with Pinned that we launched officially last Friday. And again, if you're new, if you click on the link through our website, you can get a discount off of your Pinned rangefinder or really any other products. But obviously, the rangefinder is the big thing they're pushing. Is there a big thing? And so again, you can click on the graphic on our website. It was in the preview for today's show, and it's all over the place. So really an awesome thing, and we were super excited to launch a partnership with them. Alec, just talk about, obviously you guys, as I know, you've been around for about 3 years, but just talk about where you got the idea from, how the whole thing started, and where you guys are kind of now.
Yeah, first, yeah, we're pretty stoked to partner with you guys as well. I think when we had met at the Cape Cod pilgrimage, it was cool just to kind of hear your story, and it was sort of a no-brainer for us. So again, being local in New England and hearing your guys' story, we love partnering up with guys in New England, sort of trying to disrupt the golf industry and do their own thing. So, but Pinned started it, like you said, just under 3 years ago. Just around the idea that golf is just too expensive. It is too expensive. And more specifically, golf technology was just outrageous. So rangefinders, GPSs. So you're 2 years out of school. We decent golfers. I mean, not scratched by any means, but we were playing probably 2 or 3 times a week. And we got to a point where we're just like, hey guys, like, what do you think about a rangefinder? So me and my 2 partners would play all the time. And this is, like I said, 2 years out of school. So student loans are hitting, entry-level salary job, barely making anything. We're paying rent for the first time. We're living on our own for the first time. So expenses are just adding up. And the golf rangefinder was pretty low on the totem pole for things that we just wanted to splurge on. But we knew it would help our game. So we kind of set out to see if there were cheaper alternatives out there. And what we soon realized was that there really wasn't. We did buy a few off of Amazon and test them out, but they were honestly just cheap. A couple of them broke right as we were using them. So it's like, yeah, it was kind of unbelievable. On the tee box, we pressed down on one and the thing just broke into pieces. So we were just like, all right, well, this is crappy. So that was kind of like the aha moment of like, hey, there actually might be an avenue for something along these lines. And the 3 of us always sort of had this entrepreneurial spirit, and we would always kind of shoot the shit about ideas. And what do you think about this? Like, you think there's a market for that? And then once this kind of presented itself, we were just like, all right, like, let's see what we can do with this. So one thing led to another. We came out with our first model, which was the Pearl. Was honestly kind of a proof of concept. We were like, hey, we don't want to spend this kind of coin on rangefinders, but they're charging that amount of money for a reason. Maybe people are just accepting that. And when we kind of went to market with this cheaper alternative, people were like, wow, this thing is not only less expensive, but the accuracy, the quality of it is pretty high. So sure enough, our sort of intuition was right. And these things just kind of started moving. And next thing we know, fast forward 2.5 years, it's gone from a side hustle for the 3 of us to 2 months ago, I actually quit my full-time job that I had been at for 5.5 years to do this full time.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so it like I said, it went from sort of a side hustle hobby to now I'm eating, sleeping, breathing this. So it's been quite the ride, and it's been pretty fucking fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, I got a quick question for you. So we're both avid golfers, and I'm a big fan of the Barstool Foreplay podcast. Let me tell me a little bit about how you guys got involved with them, because they're an absolute riot.
Yeah, those guys are great. So funny story, Riggs just tweeted out one day and was just like, hey, I'm in the market for a new rangefinder. And this was probably 6-8 weeks into starting this company. And we were just like, hey, dude, send us your address. We DM'd him. We were like, hey, dude, send us your address. You'll have one in the mail tomorrow.
Oh,
So he sent
that's
us the
great.
address. We sent him one. We put a little handwritten note in there because the funny sort of story is the course that we thought of the idea for was right around the corner from Barstool's original office in Milton.
Oh yeah,
So we thought it
Portnoy's
was,
parents' house. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So and then they moved to a little office, but yeah, it was right around the corner. So we kind of tied that into there. And Riggs went to Harvard, so he was familiar
Yep.
with all the Boston courses. And he once he read the story on us, he was just like, all right, this is pretty cool. He got the product, loved the product, and then next thing we know, we're been a pretty big partner of theirs for the last 2.5 years. And I mean, we can't thank them enough for what they've done for us.
I'm telling you, man. When Joe said he met you guys at the pilgrimage, I was like, oh man, those are the guys from that do the sponsorship on Barstool. I was like, holy crap, that's fantastic. I couldn't wait to talk to you guys. But yeah, I'm a big foreplay guy. I listen to it twice a week and everything like that. But it's great to see you guys going that national because they're a huge deal.
It was a no-brainer for us. Like again,
Absolutely, yeah.
Their reach is the very first time we pressed play on some ads with them. Like we were getting orders from Australia and Canada and all these random places, and we're just sitting there, we're looking, we're like, where is this even coming from? Like at this point, I'm still shipping them out of my South Boston 900 square foot apartment, like barely anything, like running to the post office at lunch during my day job, shipping these things out, and we're getting from Australia. It was unbelievable.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So what those guys are doing is great.
Oh, their reach is like unsurmountable. They're reaching everywhere. Like you said, Australia when they went to the President's Cup, PGA Championship, especially with the LTP this past weekend with the whole debacle with the NCAA. They're just phenomenal, doing crazy amounts, and the bars they don't get enough credit. That's what I'm saying.
They really don't, and it's all authentic because honestly, at the end of the day, they're four guys just like us, like guys who were kind of at the right place at the right time and got linked into it, and now I mean they're fans of all these guys that they're getting on. I mean they had DJ on their podcast.
I know,
today.
I saw. Yep.
Like Dustin Johnson, dude. Like
I know.
you told those guys 5 years ago, like you'd be interviewing Dustin Johnson, the Masters champ. They'd probably laugh in your face.
Yeah. The only problem I have is Frankie's an Islanders fan, so we gotta have some words about that.
Yeah.
Alec, talk about when you guys started and became something really a real factor in the golf business or the rangefinder business. Let's talk about, did you guys get like some pushback from other major companies? I mean, we on a smaller scale have gotten some, not a ton, but some pushback from different parts of the golf community here. I'm just curious, as you guys started growing, like really growing, whether it was the Barstool thing or whatever it was, have you guys received pushback from competitors or established brands, I guess, is the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Funny story about that. A big name in the rangefinder industry, and I won't name drop him to give him that clout, but it rhymes with Bushnell.
Nice.
They about 6 months into us starting Pin sent us a nice cease and desist. So again, we're three guys who don't know much about the golf industry besides Tiger being the GOAT and who's good. We didn't know anything about the golf industry. So we were using some of their trademark terms like Jolt technology. And again, we were IT sales guys. Like we didn't know that was really even a thing. So I'm sitting in a meeting at my day job and I get a nice email from their parent company's lawyers. And I'm sitting there and my manager is trying to talk to me and I'm like reading through this email and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? I'm like, dude, we're 6 months into this and it's about to explode in our face. So I sent it to a buddy who was in law school and I was like, yo, what's up with this? And once we actually read through it, I got out of the meeting and read through it. I realized they weren't actually suing us or coming after us for any money. They just wanted us to get rid of their terms. So once we realized that was the case, we were like, oh, this is actually kind of sweet. They know who we are. So
it's like, hey, we're kind of breathing down your neck, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So I printed it off and I put it in a nice picture frame, and it's hanging on my wall above my desk now.
Nice. That's awesome.
So yeah. So I mean, it was like the first little notch on our belt to say, hey, you guys are doing something here. So just kind of keep at it, and we have. So
that's awesome. So talk about obviously you guys have come a long way, but what is next for Pin Golf? I mean, what's next? What's the next project? What's the next product? What are you guys looking at next as you guys continue to grow?
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing we're most excited about is we just haven't really we believe we haven't really scratched the surface yet. I mean, again, we're still 2.5 years old, and to be able to afford me to do this full time and all of that, it's been great. So I mean, what's next is we're just going to continue to innovate. We're going to continue to try to make these things more accurate. We're going to continue to try to make them more affordable. And from there, the end goal is to just make golf more affordable. And by making golf more affordable, at the end of the day, we're growing the game. And I think that's why we're all trying to get into the industry, and why we all love the game is because it's an amazing game, and we want to see other people just come onto the course and play and get better and just grow the game, period. So, I mean, a pretty crazy stat last year, obviously during COVID, but there was 3 million new golfers who had never played before on a course, played for the first time last year. So, I mean, again, golf technology is only...
That's right up your wheelhouse.
Exactly. So, I mean, golf technology isn't going away anytime soon. It's becoming more robust. It's gone from a nice to have accessory to almost a necessity, right? Like, I never had a rangefinder before I started Pin, and now I never play golf without it. Because you kind of need one, especially if you're playing different courses. And again, in today's day and age, I can't get a tee time unless I book it a week and a half in advance. So I'm playing different courses all the time. Definitely knowing your distance is huge.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy because other companies have like apps that you use for the GPS and stuff like that. But when you actually use like an actual laser or an actual rangefinder, it's a little bit different. And then you add the slope. I know one of your models has the slope and everything like that. It like people are like, oh no, I paid for this. Like, it's a joke. No, it actually works. You know, you're going off the tee. You want to know where how far it is to that bunker on the right or something like that. You normally can't get an accurate reading with an app or something like that. When I use a rangefinder, that's what I want to know.
100%. Yeah. And I've used some of those apps before, and again, sometimes they're just really off. Like, I'll be sitting in the middle of the fairway, like a couple yards in front of the 150 marker, and it's telling me I'm 180 yards off, and it's got to do with the satellites and all of that. But it's just
I'll have my buddy be using an app, and we've been members at our course for almost 10 years, and I'm like, dude, there's no way that's like 160 yards. It's got to be like 140. Yeah. And then, shoot, I'll laze it, and I'm like, dude, it's like 135. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the technology that you guys, like, especially with you guys, like, you guys doing the affordable rangefinder, man, I'm seeing prices like upwards of like $500 almost. And for you guys to put out a product that's good, if not maybe better, through your innovation and stuff like that is fantastic. Because, I mean, not for nothing, like you said, golf is expensive. You got clubs, you got a whole set of clubs that all cost different amounts individually, and then you got a membership and or greens fees and a cart fee. It gets out of control. Yeah,
and it's crazy. Like, clubs, bags, shoes, greens fees, beers, hot dogs in return.
The most essential things, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it adds up for sure. So, that's that's sort of our motto. And again, we're just, at the end of the day, we're just looking to continue to grow the game of golf, because it's an amazing sport, and we want more and more people to get out there and just keep playing.
Absolutely. Again, we're talking with Alec Lorenzo. He's one of the co-founders of Pin Golf. Again, GolfNewsRI. We were so excited to launch a partnership with Pin Golf. Excuse me. Last Friday. And again, the links are on our website. The graphics on our website. It's a really cool graphic. It actually goes right with our color scheme. I don't know if that was done purposely or not, but it goes right with our color scheme, so it's perfect. Alec, I have one more question. I don't know if Rich has anything else. Just talk about. Sure. You guys talked about where you're going and how far you've come, obviously, but where is the rangefinder industry going? I mean, are these things going to get more innovative? Are they going to get more? Where do you think the industry is going? I mean, the PGA Championship just allowed a rangefinder, so I think they're the first pro tournament to allow them. Recently, we saw that. Where do you think the rangefinder industry in general is going?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, and I think now that pros are in their hands and now they're going to be on television using it again, little kids are going to start wanting to, because Justin Thomas is using one, because Bryson's using one. They're seeing Bryson use one on TV. So, I mean, it's only going to continue to climb. And again, that's not even only rangefinders, but just golf technology in general. I mean, you look rangefinders, how much they've grown over the past couple of years, and then you look at these simulators, then you look at these flight TrackMans and flight scopes and all of this crazy technology that is just popping out of nowhere. That is just, it's insane. I don't know if you guys have ever used a TrackMan before, but I used one for the first time a couple weeks ago, and I was just blown away by all the data.
Everything. It tells you everything.
And the guy I was using it with, I was like, is this like accurate? Like, how did they even pick up on this? Like, dude, to the T. And I'm like, that is incredible, dude.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of innovation in the rangefinder space over the next couple of years for sure, and golf technology in general. It's only on the up, and it's definitely not going anywhere.
I mean, your eyes must have lit up when the PGA announced that it could use rangefinders. Your eyes must have been like wide.
It was
like, yes, like baby, let's go.
Yeah. It was on like a random Tuesday that the president came out. It was just like, yeah, by the way, rangefinders or distance measuring devices are now allowed at tournaments, and this is the first one that we're going to be able to allow it at. And we were just like, wait, excuse me, what did you say? like did I just hear that correctly? Because it literally came out of nowhere. Like, obviously it was always a pipe dream, like seeing rangefinders on TV, but now it's like, okay, wow, shit, it's here.
We're really doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
it was cool to. Oh no, go ahead. I was just gonna say it was cool to see guys using them on the this past weekend, and again, you're going to just continue to see more and more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Last thing for me, Alex. Good to see you guys are doing great. Happy for all the stuff you guys have done. And I look forward to testing out your product. Good luck in the future.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate you guys having me on. I again was happy to meet Joe at the Cape Cod pilgrimage, and was it, like I said, no brainer to start this partnership, and what you guys are doing over there is great, and you guys continue the hard work, and again, we'll be in touch, and I think again this could be one of many times that we get on here and chop it up and shoot the shit, because this is great. So I greatly appreciate the time, guys.
Awesome, Alec. Thank you so much for coming on the show. That's Alec Lorenzo from Pin Golf. Again.